because we want to get this message straight from the master, our visionary in chief. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Mr. Robert Hollis.
Well, the first thing I want to say to each and every one of you is I love you and I appreciate you. When I decided to start this Master's Mind, basically under the thought that two or more are gathered, then there I am in the midst. I can even say this morning that I was like nervous. You know what I mean? It's like I'm very, very confident, delusionally confident in my abilities in other areas. But when it comes to this one, I know that I don't know. And I've said that many, many, many times. If you guys watched the intro that we did a couple of weeks ago, my whole goal is just to get some, basic understanding of this relationship with the unknown. There we go. The relationship with the unknown, right? So I did this thing this morning when I got up. It's not by accident that this stuff finds me. But I wonder if I put it on. Yeah, I put it on here. Let me just very quickly just show you guys. And I want you to watch it at your time. Craig, if you want to, you can post it. I sent it to you. You can post this link in the group. All right. So this was on 60 Minutes, and it's called The Sanctuary of the Lady of the Lords. Am I saying that correctly? But we're
Lourdes, I think, is what it's pronounced.
Okay.
Even though it's spelled that way, but I think it's pronounced Lourdes.
Lourdes. Okay. I want you guys to watch this if you feel led to watch it. Because what I find very interesting is, me going over the story very shortly, is that, the Mary, the mother, was seen in these rocks. And so then everybody decided that they needed to go there. And if they went there and prayed and kissed the rocks and touched the rocks, that they would get a miracle of healing because somebody said that's what happened to them. All right? So now I want you to watch it because this is what I find very interesting, right? And all the time that this place has been promoted, hundreds of thousands of people go there a year. Hundreds of thousands of people go to places where they feel they can get a miracle for their healing. All right? And what they have is, according to Catholicism, the Christian church, Catholic church, and also this board of doctors, is that there's only been a little over 70 miracles that have been certified. just hang on. You'll get to my point here in a second. So all the people that go there, then if they feel like they had a miracle, they have to go through years and years and years of investigation. And they got to go through this board of all these doctors. So they even say that there's a criteria that they have to look at. One, of course, is what was their ailment, and really was it documented by a lot of other doctors? Okay. Then the final one comes up. There's a bunch, you can watch it. But the final one is all the doctors in this board, and I'm sorry if I got the number right, it's 58 or something like that. The 58 doctors had to agree. Now, here's a little joke I'm throwing in. You do know what the difference is between God and a doctor, right? God doesn't think he's a doctor. So I'm thinking, how could you get 58 doctors to agree on anything? All right. But these 58 doctors in this board have to agree that there is absolutely no medical explanation for what happened. Okay. So all 58 of them look at all the documentation. So, hi, Chris. Hi, Michael. Hi, Star. All the people that jumped on. I don't know if Scott was on here. Doctor. We're just talking about Doctor. Megulala. Yeah, there we go. Megula. And so here's the deal. After it goes through all those doctors, which I think was 7 years of investigation. We're talking about one person, this lady. Then it goes for a couple of years in front of all the scrutiny inside of the Catholic Church to actually say that this was a miracle. So you're going to get to I'll get to my point in a moment here. So this lady in this video, from the time that she was born, had one leg so messed up and her back so messed up that she couldn't walk or move without a brace around her whole body and a brace around her leg. And so it was twisted. And they always said we'd have to do all these surgeries and it still wouldn't make a difference, blah, 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 blah. So the x-rays that they have on her spine, her hip, and her leg, and her foot is just, oh my God. You just look at it and go, this lady's messed up. Long story short, she went there multiple times. She goes one time, she comes back home, she was praying, bam. All the pain went away. All the mess ups in her back and her hip and her foot went away. It became straight. She could walk again. And so it only took the medical science and the Catholic religion 10 years to go, all right, got a stamp of approval that this is a miracle. So why am I bringing this up today? Is a lot of people are always asking me where I get my belief from, where I get my faith from. And it's from one word: testimonies. Testimonies. I also love this statement. It's hard to have a testimony if you haven't had a test. Okay? So I think that people break it into these 460,000 registered religions. There's different facets. Again, I'm not being sacrilegious here, but you have the Baptist church, the regular Baptist church, the premium and the unleaded Baptist church. I'm just joking that there's so many different. And so in my whole thing of understanding the master's mind, what I wanted to share with you is, again, how individualized this is, right? So here's something else. How many of you have ever heard of a placebo effect? Now, if you don't know what it is, look it up, because I don't want you just to lean on me. But when they do double-blind and triple-blind studies of a drug of any kind, they will take a group of people and they will give them something other than the drug. Something other than the drug. And I said this years ago when I met Craig, because I had, listen closely, I had 35,000 people in my group that were drinking mushroom coffee. So I said this in front of a group one time, because I did look for the study and I found a study. Now, this is years ago. This is back in 2009. 2009. So quite a while ago, right? So I said, listen, here's a study that 16% of the people that were on the placebo drug, they had miraculous results. These are people that got results because they thought they were taking the right drug. So what do you think healed them? Can we all just say our mind? It's like, am I stretching too far? That someone just said, oh my God, I'm the one, I'm one of the people that was so blessed to get the actual miracle drug, and it worked on me. Look what it's done for me. And so I used to tell people in front of the room, what if the product that I'm marketing doesn't work? It's snake oil. It's just 100% BS. It's a total fraud. I take 758,000 times 0.16, and that comes up with 121,000 people have a better life because they believed that the product worked. And so I say to people all the time is that I know what, no matter what company I've been in, that I was going to get this placebo effect on people. And here's what's crazy for you guys. Do you guys know the people that get the placebo effects are more enthusiastic and louder than anybody? I took this coffee. I used to walk with a limp because one leg was shorter than the other. And now I have no limp. I have no idea how my other leg grew the same size as the other one. So when you hear testimonials like this, how many of you are going, come on, man? Are you kidding? Because Craig was part of that company, and same with Melody. It's like the cures for stuff that we heard. You named the disease, and people drank this coffee and were healed from it. Now, a lot of you go, come on. No, a lot of them had before and after letters from a doctor. Because the doctor has their prognosis and what was wrong with them prior to drinking a cup of our coffee every day or 2 cups of coffee, right? And then they go back to them and they measure everything, and it's like, man, miracle. So now you got these people talking about the product in front of large groups of people. And here's the craziness of it. You could hear from their words, their voice, their passion, and their emotions that they 1,000% believed that this product worked for them. So when we're talking about the master's mind, and you're trying to get the best relationship that you can with whatever you think that it is it easy to understand why each and every one of us has a different opinion and a different belief? Because we see some people that are so jacked out of their mind about what they believe about that creator. And where did they get it? From an experience, not a analytical, logical thought. So that's when you get people, hey, are you really in love with your wife or your husband? Yeah. Explain to me how. I just am. So then you find all of this stuff. So before I jumped on here, focus with testimonials, I went on AI and I put in there and I said, has there been any recent studies on placebo effect? All right. And let me see here. I don't mind bringing this up just to get a screenshot of it, because this really blew my mind. So I said, what are the percentage of people that in recent studies, even old studies, that actually affects a placebo, right? So now you go down here and you look at this, and I was telling Terry, did the drugs get worse? Because I don't think a lot of people that take drugs for depression would like to hear that 82% of the people got a placebo effect and said that they're not depressed anymore. Look at this. 79% of the patients on placebo remained well over 12 weeks. So the people that got the placebo got better results than the people that were actually on the drug. I don't think people that take antidepressant and anxiety drugs want to hear someone say that. Well, we did a triple blind study. What happened? The people that took the product didn't do very well, but 93 to 83% of the people that thought they took the right drug, they're not depressed anymore. Now, how many of you are willing to admit that you sort of internally or instinctively or intuitively knew this? Because in the United States, we get bombarded with these drug commercials, right? And it's like, hey, you now suffer from A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. And this drug will help you. And they're even willing to say, this drug will help you even if you're on this other drug. Are you on an antidepressant but still feel like you want to kill yourself? Well, add this one to it. And I'm not making fun of mental illness, not at all. But of course, the side effects are, eyeball dropping out, anal leakage, not being able to use your left arm. It's like I'm trying to be funny here. But when you hear the side effects of some of these drugs, is there anything in your mind that just goes, what? Do you suffer from the side effects? So the point that I wanted to make and the thing that I want to share with you is that if any one of you have a personal testimony about what you feel that higher power is for you, do you understand explaining it in a logical, analytical aspect to people is just never going to happen? Never. So I call up Sandy and I said, hey, Sandy, I'm having a little pain. I'm passing a kidney stone. And she goes, listen, I'll do long distance Reiki on you. I want you to lay down and we'll start right at 1 o'clock your time. And I just want you to relax and I'll do some Reiki on you. I'll release that. And everybody that listens to this, I guarantee you there's a majority of the people are like, what a nutcase. But they used to say this about chiropractor. They used to say this about acupuncture. They say this stuff about a lot of stuff. So you know who gets turned off the most is when people say, let me tell you a story about God. Let me tell you a story about Allah. Let me tell you my story about Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior. You're saying it in a logical way, and people are like, no, thank you. No, thank you. Why? I've had religion all the way up to here. These people that confess that they really know. How many of you know people, not being mean? I thought I seen jump on here. Maybe he didn't. Hi, James. How you doing? And don't you love it when these people, you'll turn around, you'll say, hey, I was just thinking about this and this and this. And the first thing they do is send you a biblical scripture. And they tell you, according to this, this, and this is what's really happening. And then not being mean, but you've already seen their Facebook and you're friends with them. And you go, you're the last person I would listen to. If you're quoting biblical scriptures on how God's changed your life, I heard a guy say this one time, and it was shaking for me. This guy confessed in front of a room that he had something wrong with him. And he got off the stage, and a bunch of people came up to him and said, "We'd like to pray for you." And he says, "I know each and every one of you, please don't." And one of the people got like offended. And they go, "What do you mean?" And he goes, "Apparently the way you pray doesn't work. I don't need you or want you praying for me because bad things happen to you all the time." Are you guys following me? So it's like, I thought, to sort of finish up this part, and then I want you guys to share back. Here's why Robert's life is so magical and a miracle from point to point to point to point to point is I am addicted to and love testimonials. So when people try to market like me, they can't do it because they're too busy talking about facts, figures, logic. It's coming from my mind. Robert, I don't know what to say to this person. I don't know what to say. Can you tell me what to say to this person? Well, because you're trying to logically sell them. You're trying to come out with the thoughts of your mind and trying to convince somebody instead of just sharing your personal testimonial. What is your personal testimonial? So don't you guys find it interesting that when I didn't know really what to talk about on the Master's Mind, that I just let go, and the first one that I did, the intro, was just from my heart of my testimonial? Because the reason that it's my testimonial is because, to be brutally honest, I don't quite understand. That's probably why there's a scripture that says, "Lean not on your own understanding." So you run into people like Sandy, and this is a positive, where Sandy says, "Hey, have you ever used this stone or this crystal? Or have you, dealt with chakras?" And then you have people that are in numerology, and then you have people that are in astrology. And you got all these people that are know-it-alls that say that those things don't work. When I just shared with you that a placebo effect works. Very, very good. So if Sandy believes that a certain technique, like Reiki or anything that heals and moves energy, or she believes in a certain crystal or chakras, because you guys didn't understand it, doesn't mean it's not real. Okay? So I used to hear about acupuncture, and I went, come on. Until I had someone from Thailand that people had to, you have to schedule an appointment with this guy 2 years in advance. And so Mr. Liao, a multi-billionaire of a company I marketed for, knows him. And he goes, "Hey, Robert, you've had this little problem?" "Yeah." "Let me get you to come in and see this guy." They don't even call them doctors. They call them shamans. And I go in there, and he's moving smoke around and doing a little humming. Guys banging on a gong show, dang, dang. And then they got this thing going in a crystal ball. And he's like, "Just lay down. Here's my personal testimony with this guy. I left my frickin' body, and it scared the shit out of me." So what were my first thoughts? Satanic. If all of a sudden I don't feel like I'm here and all my pain is gone, I don't understand. I don't understand. So this has got to be negative. Oh my God. Seriously, oh my God. And I used to feel that way about chiropractors. Now, would we all agree that there's good people in every mythology? Is not mythology, but what is it called, Sandy? Um, their Reiki is a modality or something.
Right. I just call it energy healing is all I call it. I don't get into any terminal
Okay.
terminology names or anything like that because there's so many different ways to do it.
Yeah.
And the way I just do it, like you said, I could do it all virtually. I could do it with you right here. And Bill put on there, it's real, if you believe it's real, you give me 15 minutes and you're going to know it's real.
I love you, Sandy. I knew that you would enjoy this one. I knew you would enjoy this one. So thank you, Sandy. I seen that Bill put modality, a modality, because I have an incredible friend named Belinda Dupree, and I'm telling you, she, the number of different things that she knows, right? But then you find people out there that are willing to do anything to get closer. And so I don't want to mess up the name. In fact, I'm not going to say it because it's not clicking on me. But she was one of the first investors in the United States in crystal beds. Woo! And because she lives in Phoenix, Arizona, right? It's like the the people that called her up that flew with their private jets to Phoenix to get into this crystal bed because when people heard about it, they researched and found out that hey, there's one in Phoenix at Belinda Dupree's clinic. And the people that showed up was just like, man, she's got all her pictures. Like any one of you been to a fancy restaurant and the whole restaurant is pictures of movie stars and presidents and stuff that have been in there. That's the kind of pictures she has. And she's known for this stuff. And I'm like going, do I understand it? I do not. But then her belief about a higher power is she goes, nailed me one day, and then I'll get off this point. She goes, Robert, how effective has the internet been for your business and the impact of helping other people? I said, I 100% believe the universe created it for me. And she goes, isn't it amazing how many people think it's evil and it's negative? I said, yeah. And she said, so the way you feel about the internet is the way I feel about the different arts that I do. I went, I don't need to understand. She says, isn't there some people that you still work with that are not technical that won't get on the internet? And I said, yeah, there is. How would you convince them that the internet's a good thing? Because if they've been around and they're around an environment and they hear people that say how awful the internet is, and can they prove it? Yeah, by negative testimonies. So now that I brought this up to you, do you guys realize that this works for everything? You know what I don't like? I don't like Ford vehicles. You know why? I know a lot of people that got negative testimonials about Ford Motor Company and their products. Do you guys think that I could find anyone in the world that loves Fords? And they got good Ford testimonies? Could that possibly be a placebo effect? I don't know, because you can find a vehicle that's a lemon, right? And then that person would go, hey, I bought this vehicle and here's all the negative stuff that happened to me. I'll never buy one again. And then you got the same commercial. The person goes, yeah, I just put 600,000 miles on my Ford F1 pickup. And it's like, wait a minute, it's the same product. So the thing that gets me to who I am is testimonies. So now I'll leave you with one with Sunday morning, and that I watched today. So we hear about all these people that are in chronic pain. And this guy that was on Sunday morning this morning, he said he doesn't remember a time. He had a knee surgery, I think. And then he's got shooting pain 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They just don't know what it is. So they had this surgeon and doctor on there, a brain surgeon, and he said the only way that he could explain the pain that this guy described is phantom pain. And phantom pain comes from if you get a limb cut off, the limb's gone. And the person's going, I can't tell you how much my thumb hurts. So there was a thing out there for a while. A lot of you might have heard of it, fibromyalgia. Do you realize, you guys, not even 20 years ago, that they don't know why it affected women more than men? But it was basically in the medical field, that this was something that women made up. It was all in their head. Now, why they picked on women, I don't know. But now all of a sudden, because they can measure the brain and they can actually put things on the brain, they now know what pain looks like. And oh my God, they're not lying. Can you imagine how crazy you would be if you experienced pain and really bad, debilitating pain, and then you had a bunch of people tell you that it was just all in your head and you're making it up? Jerome's shaking his head. It's like, listen, I'm telling you, you're asking me on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm telling you, it's 55. It's 55. I don't know what to tell you. Boy, there's nothing worse in the world than going to a doctor after doctor after doctor, and they tell you that they can't figure it out. Man, let's not even go there. So me and Matthew have had our brains mapped by Dr. Amen, right? And what an incredible experience, right? So this guy that had this pain, he decided to sign up for this experimental deal to relieve him of pain. He then found out that it was going to take 3 brain surgeries. And he went, this is not what I signed up for. 2 years later, he's like, I'm in. So listen to this. They do brain surgery on him, put all these diodes inside of his brain, and let it learn. And the computer could figure out what started happening to his brain before it would happen. Then it knew the precise time that he was going to experience the shooting pain. And so it would send another sensation in his brain and it wouldn't happen. So he's got 2 of them. He's got 2 of them, and he programs them with these things that just go on like a heart, what is it called? Pacemaker. And he just has these things that he programs and he puts on his chest and it programs it. And all these diodes are in his head while he's got these things underneath his skin on his chest. And it's constantly monitoring his brain. It knows when it starts to tingle a little bit. He doesn't feel it. Then it knows when it's going to happen. And what it does is it does something to stop it from happening. Exactly like a pacemaker. So the pacemaker is watching your heart. It's going, wow, it's starting to flutter a little bit. It's starting to change bits. And then what it does is before it becomes a heart attack, it actually does a shock to the heart and gets it back into rhythm. So, you can go to Sunday morning on YouTube and look for the one that, where the guy's experiencing pain. And now they know it's all in his head. But instead of telling people it's all in your head and we can't do anything about it, they can do something about it. So I love where science and stuff is going with the medical field. It's really, really fascinating to me. But the why I shared this stuff with you guys is that if you're trying to figure out anything you want to figure out, and you take all your time, as Albert Einstein says, if all you're doing is trying to figure out how to overthink and underthink what you thought that got you to where you are, you're not going to be able to think yourself out of your situation and problem. Your thinking got you there. And it loves to protect itself. It's figured out a pattern in all the years that you've been alive. It feels very comfortable there, and it's just going to keep looping. So what you do is you go, oh, I'm going to break this pattern. Yeah, whatever. But let me tell you, instead of trying to break the pattern, what you should do. Whatever you want to do, you just have to watch testimonies about it. Go on YouTube and put in miracles. Go on to YouTube and put in testimonies. Now, if you want other testimonials about whatever, all you got to do is put something in front of it. What kind of testimonies? Reiki testimonies. Because someone trying to teach you this modality or make you understand how it works. What if you put in acupuncture testimonies? So how do you think that I built a group of 758,000 people doing $43 million a week in volume? We would beat you to death with testimonies. And you know why other people are having difficult building large, successful groups of believers? Because the world changed, and for whatever reason, I need to tell you a bunch of data about my product. It turned into sales. Do you believe there's still people in the world that reach out to me all the time? So a person today, this is what she said. I recently seen a video where I didn't know that you were in the Network Marketing Hall of Fame and that you've done $60 million in commissions. Is that true? And I said, yeah. And she goes, if it's true, with that much experience, what the hell are you doing in MDC? Because someone told her a bunch of facts and shit that doesn't matter. So would any one of you like to know what I said? I said, that would be like asking me why I've been with my wife for 41 years. I said, people think that it's products, name, time in business, sales, product stats, compensation plan, back office. I go, all of that stuff means absolutely zero to a non-producer. I would look, instead of people who left MDC, I'd ask you why people like me stayed. First, once I met Josh Wago, I think he's one of the most caring, grateful people I've ever met. He is, without a shadow of a doubt, the best owner I've ever worked for. 2, I build groups that do millions a month in volume, and most companies paid me 1% to 3%. Josh has decided to pay me 10%. Been here 7.5 years. I've made $5.3 million. My question to you is, why would I go anywhere else? And she came back and she said, exactly what I was looking for. I'm staying. Because you know who was trying to get her out? It wouldn't matter. It's someone that was spitting a bunch of facts at her. Didn't you see this person left? Didn't you see this person left? Didn't you see they did this? Didn't you see to do that? Wait, isn't that the same way that people talk about politics? And why don't they understand each other? Because no one talks about the frickin' feeling. No one talks about the feeling. Why do you believe in that person? I don't know. Well, I think you're stupid for believing in that person. And I think you're stupid too. Because everyone's spitting facts. So when it comes down to your spiritual or your religious beliefs, would you do me a favor and ask yourself if someone just ask you, excuse me, for a personal testimony of why you believe what you believe? Don't you think that that would be a little more powerful than facts and figures? Do you know how much people admire people that say they don't know? See, this was taught in school that if you don't know, you're stupid. When people ask me, why do you believe what you believe? It's like, I just know that I know that I know. Well, tell me what you know. I know and I believe, and a lot of great stuff happens to me. Do you know that people that are the same belief is like people go, are you a Christian? And my first response to people now is that depends on your definition. That's what I said in the first video. See? It's like, that's why we did the video about names. Because a lot of people have a lot of names. Well, I'd find the name that made you feel the best, right? What name makes you feel the best? Does Buddha make you feel good? Buddha. No, it doesn't make me feel good. Don't use that one. Use the one that connects. Now, here's the uniqueness about our individuality. Do you know our individuality is just like your phone numbers? So if I try to call Sandy and I'm one number off, I'm not going to get her. How many people find that pretty intelligent? So it's like all you got to do is figure out the right way to communicate verbally, mind, feelings, emotion to the entity you want to be closest to. And if you trust that without understanding, you'll get it. So what keeps me in the pocket? What keeps me jacked out of my mind when other people don't see how we can get results the way we get? Is because I'm very good at imagining, and I imagine things and I put it out there and things happen for me. And this is really one of the first times in my life where things that are happening with unlimited wisdom, I know is happening for us. See, some people are connected and some people aren't. I just never ever thought that there would be a leaderboard to show. So people are like, hey, I'm in, I'm all in. Really? Level one? I get it. You know, what are you talking about? It's like it's very, very interesting, isn't it? So that's what keeps me excited. That's what keeps me focused. That's what makes me do the things I do. So why do you guys think I created Unlimited Wisdom? Because I finally seen a bunch of people getting testimonials with communities. So all of a sudden, when the student's ready, the teacher appears, and I show up and watch a few videos, and I see all these people that have created communities where people in their communities are winning. People are making some serious income. The guy that's leading the pack, you know, he makes 100 million, 108 million in 48 hours. It's just some great testimonials happen over there. I watched communities grow by over triple since I've been involved. I think it was Scott that reached out to me today. And he goes, "How serious are you about unlimited wisdom?" And I go, "You can't tell?" It's like, if you would have told me within the first 37 or 38 days that would be number 29 on all the communities that are involved in this platform, I might have second guessed you. I said, "Will I eventually get there?" Oh yeah. But now I'm finding out is how you rank up is not based on money. It's based on the activities that the community are giving each other. That's what makes unlimited wisdom unique. Is that each and every one of you, for whatever reason, think that unlimited wisdom in the community that we created is pretty special. That it's something out there that's not really out there. And I believe that a lot of you that will start your own communities will learn what to do and say to get your community to where you want it to be. Because if you're using your thoughts and your analytical mind to try to get people to be part of your community, they just won't see the value. I don't have any time. Why do I need to be a part of your community? Uh, I got a lot of value in there. I, I get value on the freaking internet. You know how many YouTube videos there are out there? See, this is just the way that some of you try to pitch your business or your product, is you try to get them to think that they should do it. And that's why people still will probably only a small percentage. Only a small percentage. Oh, Craig said we're 28 now. So on the first page, it's nuts. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you to each and every one of you. I love you. I love you. I love you. We did this. We did this. We did this. All right. Um, where was I? Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The way that you guys can really, really move into where you're going, when we talked to Sarah yesterday, Sandy, I mean, uh, all Sarah needs to find is other communities that are close to what she wants to have. And she's just got to go, well, if they can build a community around that, I can build a community. All Sarah and each and every one of you need to say to yourself is that if other people did it, I can do it. You know what stops you from going into action? Going from your heart back to your brain. Well, I don't know what to do first. Should I put up a graphic for my logo? What should I put in the chats? It's like, as soon as you come from your heart and you go to your brain, then your brain messes you all up. And there's Dino in there along with another 40 other voices, and they mess you up big time. So then you just say, I don't know what I'm doing. You don't do anything. So I'm telling you, what gets me going is watching other testimonials. Constantly watching other people's testimonials. And so if you're product driven, watch videos on product. Me, I bought into this industry 38 years ago because someone showed me a $62,000 check and then told me that 30,000, 32,000 people were responsible for his income. He told me it wasn't about the product or the comp plan or the owners. I believed him. I believed him. Robert, just go out and ask people if they know someone that needs to make some extra money. Put them in front of my video. I promise you it'll work. I bet you can't get 70 people to watch the video in your first 30 days. You're wrong. I will. Next thing I know, I'm a diamond. Next thing I know, I'm a millionaire before the age of 30. And everybody else looks at me and goes, what about the product? Isn't it about the product? I'm going, isn't it about the comp plan? What about the comp plan? I'm going like, wow, how? Oh, they're not clueless. They're not clueless. They've never, ever been exposed to the testimonies that I've been exposed to. They don't know about the Dexter Yeagers and the Bill Britts and the Don Falas. They don't know about people that have made hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars in this because they have groups of over 1 million people. Do you guys know there's a company out there called Costco? And they came up with a concept that everyone could buy a membership. And because they got people buying memberships to buy in bulk at wholesale, they make billions and billions of dollars a year from people buying memberships. You guys, there's 2 other groups of people that no one are talking about. Really 3. There's one group that if you said the word Costco, they are not aware of it. They don't know anything about it. They've never ever heard of it. They don't understand the concept at all. How can that individual understand Costco? What? You mean they want you to pay a membership to get in the door? That's bullshit. I ain't doing that. Oh, okay, whatever. Because that's the second group, right? And then there's one other group. I'm never, ever, ever paying for a Costco membership, ever. Hey, Scott, how you doing? Great. You going to Costco the next week or so? Yeah, I'm thinking about going Thursday. Can I go with you? I was going to Google this or AI it and ask, has Costco ever did a survey of how many people come into a Costco that doesn't have a membership? And that's why people will never understand the concept of network marketing and multi-level. Is because they're doing it under the wrong understanding and belief of what they believe the market is. They don't understand the $100 million, or should I say, $78 billion a year business model. They don't understand the business model. They get in, look at the product that they want to try. They get a success story on that, and then they turn into salespeople. So then once they turn into salespeople, you know what they try to do? They try to recruit other people that are salespeople. How's that working for you? Did you guys see where I took the belief from the master's mind all the way at the beginning to all the way up what we're doing? There's people like Coach Bob that are going like, man, I watched your Saturday and I'm going to do everything I can to get you as many members as we can in Unlimited Wisdom. I'm not used to people saying that to me. I'm used to people saying, hey, great idea. I'm going to do it too. In fact, I'm going to become your competitor. That's what I'm used to. I'm not used to people going, man, you're a great idea. I'm going to put as many people in front of you as I can. People need this because that's how I made 60 million. I found people that had a vision. I listened to the testimonials that they created, and I became the best promoter I could of somebody else. And which, by the way, to close this up, is exactly what I do on my spiritual level. People ask me what I believe and why they should believe, and I send them testimonials. Wow, what a concept, huh? It's like, wow, listen to what happened to this person. Listen to what happened to this person. Listen to what happened to this person. I did have one extra fact. You guys will love this. Guess how many people, this is according to AI, guess how many people in the world believe in ghosts? 50%. Wow. How many people are Democrats? 50%. No, 51. No, 49. Okay, whatever. Okay. My group's better than your group. Okay. How many people believe in aliens? That there's actually things out there different than humans that are out there? 50%. Are you guys seeing a common theme here? What's the percentage of people that are Buddhist? Now all of a sudden we get down to 25, 30%. How many people believe in, Muslim? How many people believe in Christianity? How many different factions of that? Pretty interesting. Do you guys find this interesting? That there's this large group of people that believe in aliens and then another group that are going like, you're just flat out of your mind. What would make a believer versus a non-believer? Two things. A personal experience. If you saw something or you had some kind of experience with it, that's going to change you, isn't it? What's the only other thing that could get you to believe? Testimonies. Wow. You finally run across someone on a podcast and they're so passionate, enthusiastic, and thesos God within, and they're going, I'm telling you, it's there. And you're going like, damn, I don't think I've ever seen anyone that damn passionate. So isn't it neat to be able to tie what your beliefs are from based on a personal experience or a testimony? So if you want to build something, focus on the testimonies, right? Do you guys know I gave like a shorter testimonial of this? I used to help seed churches, brand new churches, build such a large congregation and be able to tithe so much that they could build a new church. And then they could build multiple churches, and then they could end up building a dome that set 15,000 people. That's me telling people, why don't you walk out to people and say to them, hey, listen, do you know anyone that would like more love, joy, and peace in their life? What is this? Why are you interested? Well, I don't know what it is. Then tell somebody else's testimonial and then get them in front of the pastor. So I would teach people how to go out and recruit to build congregations for churches. And they looked at me like I was out of my mind until they tried it. Well, I didn't know by telling somebody else's story of what happened in the church because I heard a testimonial could be that emotionally effective. Well, I was thinking about telling my story. You can do that. You can do that, and that can look right in your face and say, that's why I've had it up to here, and you need to get out of my face, and I'm going to beat you up for talking about that person. Why is it that way? I know, because it was set up that way. The disciples were told when they go to their hometown that they wouldn't be welcome in their own town. They go 2 by 2 and bring somebody else that you can tell a story about. So when Paul went home to Paul town, he brought Peter. And he told all his family and friends how great Peter was. And then Peter says, I'm nothing. You want to hear somebody? This guy Jesus is speaking down at the square. You need to go listen to him. And then they went to him and he says, you shouldn't listen to me. You should listen to my Father. Wow. Interesting, huh? So did you guys enjoy this? We'll just call this little testimonies. So when you see me, how geared up I am and how I can imagine and how I'm so full of passion and purpose is because I constantly watch testimonials. They come to me. The universe, the internet, the algorithms all know that Robert loves watching testimonials. And in a blink of an eye, a new product's going to be launched on Tuesday with MDC. And it was just a couple of old farm boys talking about a product. Me and Chris Robin. And so Chris said, well, listen, I know some chemists that can make it. Why don't we just make it, market it ourselves? And so when we built a website and got ready to market it, we thought we'd run it across Josh. And Josh said, yeah, we'll put that in the company. So how many of you on a scale of 1 to 10 think that I have a testimonial about this product that's being released? You know what a lot of people are going to do when they see the product? Can I get some facts? I need some facts. And the facts they're going to be asking are based on what other people said they should ask. Like, they're not freaking chemists. So what will my testimonial be? Good friend of mine that I love and trust sent me some product that he had made. He told me to put 8 drops in the water and drink it. See what happens. Well, I need some facts. It's not going to stop me from making millions and millions of dollars from this product. Hi, Rebecca. Okay, I'll let you guys go unless some of you have any questions. Maybe we should always save the questions for Ask Us Anything. Let's do that this time. All right? Did you guys enjoy this? Sorry you got on late, Rebecca. Are you in a plane? I'm a flight attendant on a plane. That's good. I love you. I love you. I love you. So bye to every one of you. Bye, Arthur, Lisa Marie, Shelley, Sherry, Star, Dr. Magiola, Chris, Faith, Melody, Scott, Rebecca, Jerome, Mike, Kevin, Mary, Coach Bob, I love you. Sandy, thank you for sending the energy. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Bill. And thank you, Craig. I love you guys.
Take care, everybody. Love you. Have a fantabulous weekend, and we'll talk to you soon.
Love ya.